Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Para OR Normal Guyz. We've got kind of a treat for you. The chat is open, and the phone lines are also open. You can call us at 1-888-88-YERGZ in case you have any questions for any of the guests or the hosts. We're blessed tonight to have my regular, Miss Cheyenne, Dina, and then Jeff is here. And then we also have a special guest, Vinny.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hey,
thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So, Vinny, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Pro wrestler, 10 years, traveling the world pretty much every week of my life. I love what I do. I'm blessed at what I do, and I'm blessed to do what I do. And I just love changing lives every step of the way.
All right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, they say if you love what you do, you've never worked a day in your life.
Yep. And I'm a big believer of that. And I also believe work as hard as you can to get what you want to get so that you're at that point.
See, that's very John Cena right there.
Yeah,
No.
That's actually what we were just talking about.
That's better than John Cena.
All right. There you go. All right. Okay, better than John Cena. That's something to aim for.
That is something to aim for. Big time.
I'll replace the posters in my bedroom.
Okay. Great. Vinny, I know there's a few questions that everyone has to ask when they're interviewing a wrestler, but you know, what was your path that got you into wrestling, into the path of becoming a professional wrestler? Was it like sort of like a boyhood dream, or was it just something that you sort of stumbled into?
So I went to a meet and greet. I was a fan of it for many years, right? I was a fan. I loved it. Me and my father were always watching it. Went to a meet and greet with Daniel Bryan in New York City. I must have been 14 years old, or maybe even 13 at the time. And I mentioned how I really just love wrestling. I want to get into it. I want to try it. I was playing football as a quarterback for many years prior, and I was playing high school football. And I said, you know what, Dad, I want to wrestle, but I want to do meet and greet first. Did the meet and greet. I asked him advice. Daniel Bryan was very inspiring and very motivating, and gave me some really good words of encouragement. And from there, I said, all right, Dad, I'm going to go wrestling school. And the rest is history. You know, I quit football. I love football. I had some great times, but I think I made the best choice possible by moving on to wrestling.
I'm hearing a little Northeast accent there.
Yep. My Northeast accent, Staten Island.
Yeah. Figure a little New York there. Now, it says Vinny Pacifico, which, of course, is everything the opposite of Staten Island. Now,
Yes.
Is it Vinny Pacifico because you're on the Pacific now, or just because you're like a peaceful dude?
Because it's my name, I think. No, because
Beautiful answer.
yes, Pacific. But actually, whenever I used to get as a kid, if I ever got mad, my aunt would always say to me, "Pacifico means peace, so be peaceful." I'm like, oh, so now I always use that whenever I need to.
So it's your real name. It's not a stage name.
No, yeah, it's my real name.
Okay, yeah. Because last week I brokered an interview with someone recently released NXT performer who's now trying the indie scene, and her name is Emma Diaz, and I don't know if that was her real name or not, but she recently changed it to, I think it's like Christina Cruz, something. In any event, I think she found I don't know if it was an NXT name and she wasn't allowed to use it or whatever, but I just Pacifico sounds like it would be a stage name, but it's not.
Yeah,
so
I
lucky
get told
you.
that a lot. Mm-hmm.
So which wrestling school did you go with? Who'd you train on?
Ring of Honor under Cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Cheeseburger, Will Ferrara, Jonathan Gresham, Rhett Titus, Delirious, Joey Mercury, and a few others that are really, really good. And I'm just very, they were the best people possible to be around. So I'm very blessed to be always surrounded by those people like that. And it was great.
Were you in the class with Keys and Dixon and
Yes.
Dante Caballero and that whole crew?
A little bit before and then during them, yes.
Yeah.
Like I'd say a year before, and then the Baltimore school also.
Yeah, I'm in Baltimore, so
Awesome.
I saw them at all the Baltimore-based Ring of Honor shows. I saw them at MCW. I mean, some of them are still with MCW, and probably doing other things as well. Who now I follow you on X and Roundabout, and I know that recently you went to Japan. I think you're wearing a Japanese shirt now.
Yes, I am.
So was that your first trip to Japan, or have you gone many times?
First time to Japan. I worked for New Japan earlier of last year, and then I reached out to Taka Michinoku, who runs a company in Japan, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I just read New Japan. I have been Ring of Honor, and my dream was to go to Japan, and he made it happen." And that was my first time in Japan, and it was a great time to say the least. And I want to go back. The place is beautiful. The wrestling is great. Of course, everyone knows the wrestling in Japan is bar none the best, but it was very beautiful. It was very pleasant to be there and clean as all can. I'm sure you guys heard about how clean Japan is. It was very clean.
Yeah.
Sure, of course. Listen, I'm really interested in sort of the minutiae and bogged down of things. So when you get this gig in New Japan, as a U.S. resident citizen, do you need a visa to go to Japan?
Well, New Japan was in America first,
right?
And then
New Japan's strong, right?
Yes, and then I went to Japan for a different company. But yes, you need a visa.
Okay, so you need a visa. So
yes.
Do they help arrange for that, or
yes.
are you sort of on your own with it? And
yes.
do they send you your plane tickets and all that, or you take care of
everything? They were really good. They were they took care of me, and that's usually what we strive for. Occasionally, as wrestlers, you got to invest in yourself, of course. But luckily, with this, they took care of me, and it was just it was really, really cool how everything came together so quick. And last year was a game-changing year for me. I signed the deal with Bang Energy in February of last year because my character, my old shtick would be like energy drink stuff, right? Like come out with the drink it, get Popeye, like the whole pop, you know how it is, Popeye, Stone Cold Steve Austin, energy drinks, same thing, similar, but I just do it differently than anybody else ever did. And I had a match in Oregon, and I did a spot with a drink in the match, and it went viral. And then Bang sent me a contract that week in February, and then as the year went on, Bang went out of business, sadly, because they had a lawsuit or whatever. They're back now, but they had a lawsuit at the time. Then the G Fuel Energy CEO emailed me and signed me to a deal right there. And that was cool too, And then so that was the two. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. And then I got hit up for all these huge podcasts to do last year, like the Kurt Angle podcast, Road Dogg podcast, Busted Open Radio, and it was like really, really cool to have this exposure and have these moments happen so quick all together. You know what I mean? And then New Japan happened, and then these big matches that I got to have. So last year was a very cool year for me, and how everything happened so perfect together at great timing. It couldn't have been better.
How did you handle the overwhelmingness of that?
Kind of I always want more. I'm doing this 10 years, so it's like I'm always striving to do better and do more. So I kind of took everything as like, okay, this is great. What's next? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I made sure to always enjoy and appreciate every opportunity given to me. But I definitely really took time to sit back.
Savoring every moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, work with me on this because I think I can make the year even bigger. Sure. And that is a triple threat between you and Woo Energy's Ric Flair and Logan Paul's Prime Energy drink. What do you think?
I like that. I definitely like it. And listen, I'm
take my money.
There. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Who are some of your favorite people that you've worked with, and who would you like to work? I mean, you mentioned Dan O'Brien. I think you mean Bryan Danielson.
Brian Danielson, yes.
We have to remember his new name, which is his real name.
Yeah.
I know he's doing his you never believe a wrestler when they say it's a farewell tour, but he's sort of checking off like who he wants to wrestle, and
Mhm.
I think he's taking requests. So he works for someone who does give people from the indie scene a chance and uses a lot of appearance talent. So I imagine Brian would be a dream opponent of yours because he's a
Number
dream
one.
opponent of everyone. But so let's break down in the two-part question. Who are some of the sort of legends? I don't want to disrespect anyone that you might work with now. Who are some of the people that you've worked with in the past that really taught you a lot, and who are sort of your dream matches, for the near term and long term?
Awesome. I would say, great question. I would say dream matches first. I would say definitely Bryan Danielson, number one, always. That would be like dream come true, of course. Matt Cardona, another one who I really want to wrestle. He's phenomenal at everything he does, and an inspiration in many ways. Tommy Dreamer, Mike Bailey, Sammy Callahan. The list goes on, but those are the main ones that I want to wrestle. Alex Hammerstone. But now matches I've had that have been really influential to me was one Rocky Romero. I would say bar none, one of the best wrestlers in the business. Great guy, great human being. EC3 was another one that I had that actually, I'll be honest, I'll tell you right now, that match changed my whole career. Wrestling EC3 in Maine with the first time ever changed my whole life because ever since then, after that match, my career was on upswing. Right after that match ended, and I like to go back and look at that and see the whole transition of how my career just changed after that match happened. But yeah, EC3 because he's an amazing talent. He's got a great mind for wrestling. Ace Romero, he's awesome. Paul London, I wrestled him March 23rd at Pro Wrestling Magic. That one was batshit crazy. Who else? Bobby Fish, another opponent I mind that I really love wrestling. There's just so many talents that I've had the opportunity to wrestle that I'm just like, wow, this is such a cool opportunity, But definitely number one, Bryan Danielson would be the number one match that I would love to check off because how much he means to me and how much he's done for me as a human being in terms of inspiring me.
What's your style? Are you would you call yourself a high flyer? Are you more of a brawler? Are you more of a technician? Is it the fusion style?
I would say technician, and definitely some brawling. Sumi Sakai took me aside and taught me a lot of really cool strikes. And that's something I really succeed at nowadays with strikes. Forearms, European uppercuts. She's a phenomenal teacher, and I've learned a lot from her. But yeah, it's technical also because of course my trainers have nailed that into me, of course, and I love that style too. I'm going to England in 2 months in August, and that style is huge over there. So I will be sure to be using that style over there.
Yeah, well, you got to do the British strong style if you're going to be in Britain. What are your stats on the back of your wrestling card? Like, what's your height and weight? And you feel free to use the wrestling ones where you round up.
Yeah, my height 5'7", 5'8". Sorry, I just spilled my nighttime tea.
So as long as it wasn't your bang tea, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little late for that.
No, he's got to have his sleepy time tea.
I do. Every night. It's very important. It's very important.
Does it not knock you out too?
It takes 2 of them to knock me out.
Oh. I'll like put 2 together and then.
Yeah.
Don't tell her too much. She's mixing up a cocktail right now.
It would be delicious with some sleepy time tea.
Oh yeah,
for real.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's bait. You know that gif with Tom Hardy. This is bait. So I'm thinking, I'm looking at you and hearing that style, and I listen, not personality wise or anything like that. I've never met the man, but I'm looking at you. I'm saying, I see like sort of a young Dave Richards.
I have been compared to him. I've been compared to Bryan Danielson also. I've been compared to Tyson Kidd also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
TJ.
Do you see that one? Yeah. Do you see that one or no?
Yeah, I see that more than I saw than Brian, but I mean, stylistically, it could very well be, but just looks wise, and then the hairstyle and sort of the. I mean, I know TJ is Canadian and whatever, but sort of like the all American, not too tall, but clearly athletic. That was a 5'7" quarterback in New York.
Listen, it worked for me. I ran a lot too. I was very fast at one point, and then I put on a lot of muscle, and now I'm pretty fast still, but not like I used to be. I used to be very fast. I used to really run a lot. but I will say I'm like 162 now. I was 170 recently. I dropped down because I wanted to, like, I got really like I got heavy like size on, and I said, you know what, I like being thick and muscular, but like I want to be really lean too. So I'm just trying to do both, and I'm trying to like get my weight down a little bit because I like to be faster in the ring and more malleable.
You can
But
sprinkle a little dad bod in there. It's fine.
Almost like he means dad bod. It's like leaner.
It's just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't picking up the dad bod vibe. I mean, I'm dad bod.
No, I'm just saying it's a possibility, and it would be fine.
Okay.
Thank you. I think so.
Women
Maybe
love
down
that.
the line. Down the
Yeah,
line.
down the line, yeah.
She threw me off my track entirely. I had a question for you,
welcome.
but I know, but I don't now. It's gone. Thank you, Shay. So someone else. I've been sort of monopolizing this anyway. Obviously, I'm the one who is the biggest wrestling fan probably of the group.
Hey, listen, we can ask any questions you want. I like to have fun. I love roller coasters. I love candles. I love a lot of different things.
Oh, I know what I want to ask you now.
Oh, shoot.
Like as a quarterback, was Doug Flutie sort of your guy? Was he sort of like your hero?
My dad loved him. No, my hero was Mark Sanchez and Tom Brady. So I'll tell you a funny story. Tom Brady's number one because in middle school, every single year, or like I think like fifth grade, whatever the earliest grade was, fifth grade, we had, or fourth, third, whatever it was, I had to write autobiographies, and every single year I did one on Tom Brady, the same one.
Pretty smart.
And I think I still have it somewhere too. And I have a book on him. I used to love Tom Brady. He's phenomenal. He was a great player, but that was my
for a reason. So yeah,
yeah.
I know he's picking the 6'4", 6'5" guys. I thought he maybe would be your inspiration, but okay, that's fine. I mean, when you're in third or fourth grade, you don't know what height you're going to be. But when you're in high school, you have a pretty good idea that you're by the time you're a junior, your growth spurts are probably behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree.
Though I've gotten taller as I've gotten older. It's true. I mean, I graduated high school about 5'8.5". I'm now 5'10". I mean 6'7". No, 5'10". And my foot's actually grown also. It's the strangest thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. By the time I'm 80, I'll be Sid Vicious.
Well, so happy for you.
Vinny, I have a question for you, and I like to ask this. I'm a paramedic by trade, and
awesome.
I always look at everybody and think, gosh, the moves and the techniques and everything. How do you avoid severe injuries? I mean, it looks like you guys are literally beating the crap out of each other. I mean, how?
Everything hurts.
Really
I will
good
say.
Acting.
Yeah.
I will say everything hurts, but we make sure to really, obviously, keep each other safe. That's the industry. We're trained a certain way to be safe and keep our bodies protected, so we can do this for our whole lives, pretty much. You want longevity, right? But you have to make sure you take care of your body. Like I weekly go to PT. I get stretched. I get foam rolled. I get cupping, acupuncture, and then I do cryotherapy. Lots of stretching. That's so important. Learn my lesson. It sucks, but it's very important to do. And obviously hitting the gym. And my diet lately has just been I cook all my meals lately. It's been just the strictest diet I could be, right? That I picked, honestly.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it pays off, and I believe I feel my best right now, and I think I'm going to be getting I think I'd like to hit 3 more pounds to lose, and I'll be happy. Maybe 3 or 4 pounds. And once I hit that, I'll be okay.
Who's the person that you wrestled that was sort of in your position, but since you've wrestled them, they've gone on to, be on, one of the big promotions, someone that might be on TV every week? There's always one.
Who did I wrestle that went on TV? Right? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like have you wrestled someone when they were sort of where you are now, like on the
Carmelo.
cusp of and they've taken that next step?
Carmelo. Who else?
Him.
Yes, him. There's a few, but he would be the one that like I stands out the most to me. H. Romero, he went to TNA after I wrestled him. There's a few. You know, I've gotten to wrestle some really cool people. Sho and Yo from Japan, New Japan. They were from Japan, so but they went on to like huge things in New Japan after our match. Yeah.
Are you like who? Do you have like an agent or anyone like that, or are you your own agent?
For wrestling, I'm my own agent. For all things pro wrestling. When it comes to movies, commercials, sponsorship deals, and anything else, I have a manager I go to.
That's great. What I mean, one, are you a member of SAG? And,
Not yet.
Not yet. But are you? And you're working towards those credits?
I just filmed my first movie.
Nice.
And it's gonna be we have premiere coming probably August, September. We don't know the date yet, but looking at there. And my manager took a lot of the movie was separate from him, but his forte is Hollywood and all these things. So I'm bringing him in on that deal with me for the movie. And he's great. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Can you say the title of it, or are you?
No, I can't yet. I can't yet.
Okay.
There's no title yet.
Shoot, I'm over here trying to Google it. I'm like, come on, I gotta figure out what this is.
You can't yet.
It will be good, I'll tell you.
Are you still on the East Coast?
Yes, I'm still on Staten Island.
Okay, so like are you? I know it's easier said than done, but like all of the Dick Wolf, Law and Order shows, they're all in New York, and they, you always, whenever you go into a Broadway show and you look through the playbill, because I only go to Broadway shows when my parents took me, and you can guess how long ago that was. But you read the playbills, and all of them were in Law and Orders because they're local actors. And I mean, you seem like you would be, firefighter this or officer so and so, or maybe obviously the killer. I mean, but
he could be the bad guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. I got John Cena. I got firefighter. I got bad guy.
Bad guy.
Wow.
Be love interest.
The love interest. That's right. Right.
That will get you killed.
Yeah, the love interest is usually the one who ends up dead on SVU anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Those I've watched Lifetime movies. Those are sick. I love them.
I love them. I love Lifetime movies. Those are some of my favorites.
Me too. Big time.
Really?
I get sucked. Oh, I get sucked.
I was just about to be wait.
Yeah.
So he likes Lifetime movies.
A lot of them are based on real story or real.
I know.
Yeah,
that's scary.
It is scary.
These men are like sick.
Yes, well, some of the women as well, though.
Yeah, I watched one recently. This guy had like this. I don't know if you guys. This one's a famous one. I remember watching it when I was younger, but I'll never forget this one. This guy had like a house of women that he just kidnapped.
Oh yes.
There's like tons of them. First of all, I mean that's not really. That's a broad statement.
So that's I was gonna say it's not very okay, we got
yeah, there's a few of those.
Yeah.
A lot of them are crazy.
But at the same time.
Yeah.
It's funny, immediately the first thing I thought of was like, is this a Rob Zombie movie?
Yeah. Yeah. They get crazy in these things. And it's sadistic. And I'm like, wow, whoever thought of this is like a genius of some kind.
Yeah.
They've got Vinny's money.
Crazy.
They do.
And just remember, a lot of the actors, after they do some of those sick parts, it gets stuck in their head, and they have to have help getting it out of there. Some of the greats went for therapy for years after doing movies. So.
Hey, so you like Lifetime movies? So like, what other kind of? What's your main movie kind of thing?
I'll say I like horror. I like horror. The movie I did was pretty horror-ish, so I mean that was cool. There's horror elements to it, but I do love horror. I love like all the slashers. I love Dracula. Dracula.
What's your favorite horror movie then?
Ooh, I do like Terrifier. That's a good one. They're new.
Like what?
Terrifier.
Terrifier.
Oh, Terrifier.
But I
heard
say
Fire.
That's the Tennessee. That's the Tennessee coming out.
What? Fire?
Nose with that black and white clown.
Yes. I also like Halloween. How could I not? Right.
Right.
The new series is great. Chucky.
Yeah.
I love Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky's a good one.
I hate that little guy.
Good choices. Very
Yeah.
good choices.
Yeah.
Throw a candle on, relax, watch it.
Oh,
Orphan
okay, so
or
how about-
Megan and a Chucky?
Megan was scary.
The Conjuring are my favorite.
Oh, it's a good
Then
one.
going into the Nun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nun was good. Nun was scary.
Yeah.
With the painting on
about-
the wall. Sorry.
What about music wise?
Oh, I like all music. I'm bad. I like everything. Everything. I could listen to Lady Gaga. I could listen to Disturbed. I could listen to Korn. I could listen to Harry Styles. I could listen to literally ABBA. I love ABBA. Anything.
Oh, he's
Anything.
getting more points on my list.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta say. I like any music.
ABBA?
I
Really?
could play anything.
Yeah.
So would your character be that you are a wrestler who thinks that you're an actor in a Lifetime movie?
Oh my God.
So the Miz.
I love the expression. Yeah.
I don't know.
A little bit more like John Morrison meets, Fandango.
Wow, that's a really good comparison right there. Well, I don't know. I mean, the movie didn't come out yet, so I didn't announce anything really about the movie yet.
Yeah.
But
It's always best.
Any little details you want to share? There are plenty of open ears.
Yes.
it was filmed in Orlando.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
Land
I'll
shark.
take it.
Is it related to Bigfoot?
No.
He's in another Sharknado.
Oh,
I do like sharks, but
Yeah,
no,
you
not Sharknado.
well, I was going to lead you in while we were talking about movies and comics and stuff. Growing up, were you a comic book nerd?
I used to love Spider-Man. Okay, aging myself. I grew up with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
25. So I mean, I was just
Right.
like right around that era, right?
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
the baby.
No, you're not the baby.
Oh.
And I love Tobey Maguire, but as I gotten older, I've really fallen in love with Christian Bale Batman.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
So,
No one beats him. Nobody.
Well, Michael Keaton's the best Batman.
Oh,
I
he's
do-
great, but I don't know.
I do really like a good Michael Keaton Batman too.
Me
I
too.
really do.
I will say I do like it too, but Christian Bale is great.
He is good. I mean, he's good, but
Yeah, I think like
I don't know.
Dark Knight is probably like
That's
the
the
best of the
original.
best out there.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I could watch it every night, and I did actually. I watched it once, like every night of the week.
And you know
One,
what's
two,
funny?
three.
As horrible as the movie is, I could be the same way with Batman Forever.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
that one. I have to watch that one again. I know it was really good. I know it was good to an extent of like if you're a Batman fan, you kind of would like it. But I haven't seen it. In years. I have to see it again.
And I love Jim Carrey, so of course if Jim Carrey's in
Yeah.
it, then
That's
Yes, love him.
You can skip the whole wrestling thing and go straight to being an Avenger.
true. Yeah,
please. Okay, what would your Avenger power be then?
If I had a superpower, I'd probably like to.
I feel like you could be a ninja of some sort.
Yes, but teleportation.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
'Cause for my job, I fly all the time. If I could
Yeah.
just
A
teleport
much
somewhere.
more. So here's my
I
idea.
like that.
We're gonna completely get rid of Benedict Cumbersnatch, and you can be the new Doctor Strange.
Okay,
Oh, that'll work.
that might
Yeah.
work. Wow,
there's
I like that.
alternate timelines.
it's interesting.
Yeah, there's alternate timelines. You never know. So, hey,
Yeah.
there you
You
go.
never know.
Hey, shoot, John Krasinski can come up and be a member of the Fantastic Four. Then
Ooh,
Yeah.
Well, there's a
Vinny
lot of that.
Strange.
Yeah.
Doctor
Doctor Strange made me
Doctor-
turn heel
yeah.
on the MCU.
I love it.
Doctor Strange did that to you? Really?
Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness.
Travis told me that one was pretty horrible. I watched the first one and I really liked it. But
The first one was fine. The first one was actually basically the same movie as Batman Begins, the first Christian Bale movie. But it wasn't the first bad Marvel movie. In my opinion, The Eternals was when Marvel finally made their first DC movie, meaning a bad movie. But Doctor Strange 2, I had such high hopes for it, and it just
Travis said he felt the same way about Ant-Man and Wasp, the Quantumania, I think it was.
That was bad.
That wasn't bad.
I mean, it was derivative of everything. But anyway, that's probably okay. So horror.
Yes, love it.
He's gonna teleport.
I know, like that's Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see it too.
You'd have to be, furry and blue and have a tail, and
he'd make it look good.
Yeah, I could rock that.
Yeah.
You'll have to speak like Gunther.
I feel like you would make a good Spider-Man too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do like Spider-Man. I think I'm a good Peter Parker too.
Well,
yeah, you give me that same kind of Tom Holland vibe of Spider-Man.
Wow, really? It's a first. Should I be insulted?
No, it was in a good way.
I'm playing. You're right though.
But yeah, a New York guy, 5'7", 160-ish. That could be Spider-Man.
Yeah, very much so.
The best Spider-Man accent out there.
Yeah.
Got bullied in I got bullied in middle school.
Oh.
Yeah, for being a wrestling fan. So that's perfect.
Oh,
I got upset, and so Spider-Man became a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and as long as Bruce Campbell shows up, then we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. The cameo. Okay.
He was in all three of them.
Yeah.
See, I still remember him as Briscoe County Jr. That's how I know Bruce Campbell.
I'm sorry, Vinny. I sidelined the whole thing by taking his comic books away.
Hey, don't be sorry.
I feel like he could be a number of really good Avengers, though. I feel like you would be a really good Hawkeye too.
Well, I would be rich if you were a director.
Yes.
Okay.
If you were a director for a movie, I'd probably be rich. What?
She should call your agent.
Yeah. I could get like 10 more movies.
So, I'm sorry, I will not replace Chris Evans, though. He makes a very good Captain America. But if you're willing to don some more hair, I would be willing to give you the try at Thor.
Who wants to tell her about the Chris Evans and Captain America thing?
I didn't see Captain America, so I'm kind of
okay. So we'll just. He's doing great. Don't worry.
The first one is my favorite.
It's a fine movie.
How many are there?
Oh,
Captain America. There's 3 Captain Americas, and the 4th one.
Now, isn't there technically only 2?
How you doing, Matt Barron?
Nope. There's Captain America: The First Avenger, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and Captain America: Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Avengers Civil War.
No, it's Captain America: Civil War.
They
Soon it's going to be
start
Captain America:
blending
New World
together.
Order. Don't test me on the MCU. Just because I turned heel on it doesn't mean I'm still not.
Hey,
I'm gonna can't help
in
myself.
the next room is a fucking comic book artist, okay? So don't try me, Jeff.
All I see is a fire. I'm assuming that he's barbecued at this point.
oh my goodness.
He's locked in the other room.
I'm assuming he's a Wicker Man. Speaking of Wicker Man and
bees!
horror, I know that Glenn has a question. He doesn't. This is the Para OR Normal Guyz. I mean, I'm never really sure what show I'm on when I'm with this crew, but Glenn has a question that he asks everybody on all his shows.
Shoot it.
Yeah, I ask every guest, no matter where they've been in their life, have you ever had any paranormal experiences? Have you ever been out in the woods and had something scare you, or had
in a house
something haunt you, or everybody seems like has a story.
He hit Bigfoot. He hit Bigfoot over the back with a folding chair. So
really,
that would be awesome.
Wait,
just shake your head. Yes.
Twice.
Yeah.
Did I ever have a paranormal experience?
Something you can't explain.
It wasn't from breathing in too much methane from the landfills.
Oh, so when I moved into my new house, I did not know this. I found this out yesterday, actually. That's the person who lived here before me passed away.
Oh.
When we moved in, we heard noises, and they were like, "Oh, this place is haunted," and I'm like,
Where was that on the listing?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And I didn't know a thing, and I'm like, I hear some noises too. This is weird. And then I found out yesterday, like, oh yeah, this person passed away before you moved in. Like, oh, so that were the
Thanks.
noises. Yeah, yeah. So I would say that's the
Now,
paranormal ish.
were any of the previous owner's items still in the house?
I don't remember. No, I don't think so. I think when we came in and saw it to see the listing, I don't think so. But they took down the carpets. No, yeah, no. When we moved in, it was completely empty.
Mm.
What about the under basement?
I haven't seen it.
Ah,
I try to avoid it. The plumber goes there.
We're giving you a month, then you have to come back.
You have to go down in the basement. You have to go in the basement.
And then we are going to require weekly calls about it.
That's right. They do. Some places do disclose if they're haunted, and that's crazy. How do you find out if a house is haunted or not? Like, how do you really? Oh, I guess you could call the ghost hunters, right?
You have to ask.
Yeah, they can tell you. They want to make money. These people, right?
Right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So I think that would be subjective too. So I mean, you may hear noises that I don't hear. So I think that would be kind of subjective. But
yeah,
I did an interview with a gentleman from over in the UK, and at the place that he had, as soon as they started messing with the carpet and pulling the carpet up, was when everything started getting active.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So I'm like you mentioned carpet. I was like, oh no, they probably pulled up the carpet.
They did put the carpet.
Yeah, that's a lot of times when it starts is when the new owners or like the construction workers in between start doing renovations.
Changes.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I take it you're kind of a believer in that.
Say it again?
I take it you're kind of a believer in that. You're not 100% legit.
I don't know. I can't say for sure. I believe in God.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't say for sure if I believe in whether the dead live with us. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They say
I wouldn't rule it out.
Demons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Okay. What about angels and demons?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
So
a horrible book.
Do you think of a guardian angel?
You know, I've had some close calls, people driving recklessly around me, and I do think I'm blessed that I've been not hit. You know, because people drive crazy in New York, Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in Staten Island. I'm not in the city. Oh, they're terrible. Yeah, they're terrible in Staten Island. But I'm not in the city. I'm in Staten Island's the most housey area there is in New York, and people are still crazy driving. So I've been almost hit a few times. And luckily, I haven't gotten hit, so I can say God's watching down on me.
Yeah.
Is there a patron saint of wrestling?
No, I don't think so.
There's a patron saint of everything.
It's me,
Randy Savage.
Well, I have a 1 degree of separation story about Randy Savage, but it's not. It's about his brother, but it's probably for.
We'll talk about it Monday.
Let's just say my wife might have killed him of a broken heart. So.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Appreciate this, Matt, for joining the show.
Where are you booked in the near term? Where are you going to be bouncing around? Are you going to be doing? And you said you're going to England. Do you know who you're booked against, or is it sort of you get there and they tell you?
Things are being announced shortly. I'm booked in Finland the first 10 days of August, then England the next 10 days, and then France the next 8 days. I have 3 shows in Finland. I have 3 in England, and I'm booking on 2 more, and then I have 2 big ones in France. And it's like a work vacation. I can't wait.
You gotta come back and tell us about your travels.
Definitely. And I will be getting the announcements will be rolling out over time. I already had one. I don't know who I'm wrestling yet, but one company announced the show. 2 actually. Again, I don't know who I'm wrestling yet, but there will be announcements and there will be more podcasts that I'm on that I will mention it, of course.
Does Finland have their own promotions in France?
Yeah. They have one, in Finland. They have a really big one called Slam Wrestling. I think it's one of the only ones. Maybe they have one. I'm not sure if they have any more, but It's one of the big ones out there. They're on Fight TV, and I'm really excited for that one because it's just Finland. I mean, I don't know
It's
anybody.
funny. I keep thinking like I can't picture like walking around the streets of
Helsinki.
France and people being like walking around with their Monday Night Raw shirts and stuff.
Yeah, right. I agree.
It's not gonna leave you much time to do any of the touristy thing while you're there.
I will be. I'll be doing a lot of touristy stuff. Actually, as a talent, I'm getting to wrestle. The first show is like one of their big shows of the month. And then they have 2 more big shows, but it's during the Helsinki Metal Festival.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be really cool. Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
really
it
cool.
will.
There's 2 days of that. Yeah. And then from there, we go to England, do the whole thing in there. I have like, I want to do a lot of tourist stuff in England. There's some really cool stuff you could do, of course.
Yeah.
And then from there, we go to France, and France is going to be awesome. We're going to do Paris. We're going to do Disneyland Paris. Definitely Disneyland Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Got
nice.
it.
Get a very traditional, delicious baguette for me.
Oh,
I
gosh.
mean, yeah.
I'm gonna.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm trying to
Makes me
diet.
want one right now.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
I've
you
been
just
so-
diet really heavily before, so you can splurge
Yeah.
then and go really strict back.
It's kind of what I'm doing. Kind of what I'm thinking about doing. So I've been really the last 3 weeks. I've been the chickens of my life, and I look to be when I go there. I'll be okay. I'll splurge a little bit. England is good. England has good chocolates. I know that.
Mhm.
Well, wrestle like Mike Speedball Bailey, and you'll earn that baguette.
Yes, I will.
That fast, speedy style.
He's amazing.
Is there
yes.
anything you want to plug or promote your socials, how people can find you? I know
Of
you can't
course.
announce everything, but I'm sure that you announce your stuff, on Instagram like all the kids do.
Yeah. My Instagram is Vinny Pacifico. My Twitter is Vinny Pacifico1. My Facebook is Vinny Pacifico. And yeah, it's I'm gonna be all over the USA these next 2 months before I go to Europe. I come back from Europe. I have 2 shows in the Northwest, Relentless Wrestling and Reactivate Pro in Northwest. I come back. I go to Puerto Rico for CWA, and that's in September. But before then, I'm going to be seen in who could I announce? June 21st, I will be at Fight Life Wrestling. July 20th, I will be at UGWA in California. The 13th, I will be in Pittsburgh for Rise Wrestling. The 14th, Alpha One in Canada. The 6th, Alabama. Oh gosh, it's a lot. Yes, but
That's a lot
stay
of
tuned to
travel.
my social. Yes,
It is
and
a
then
lot.
June I
They can find you everywhere.
yes, and
Yeah.
then June I got some Florida dates. June I'm going to be in Florida. I got Saturday I'm going to be in Jersey, and then more Florida, and then back to PA, and then Texas. But it's a lot of really cool traveling stuff happening the next 2 months. And then I'm away for a month overseas, and I come back, and I'm right back into it immediately.
Wow.
Very cool. Well, while you're in Finland, make sure that you look for trolls and beware of the
Is that a
faith
thing?
folk. Oh, of
Don't
course.
take any wooden nickels.
I love that.
Yeah,
It is
little,
a thing over there, yes.
yeah, Fae and fairy people. Or
Yeah.
fairy.
Mhm.
Also, look at if anyone's speaking Russian and in the wrong kind of coat, go the other way because they may be Shanghaiing you into conscription. And if you're ever, doing CZW down in Havre de Grace or in Baltimore, or MCW or Adrenaline or whatever, hit me up.
Definitely will.
We'll do that the crab cake at Jimmy's thing.
Oh gosh, yes. Everyone loved that. I think I had it once, but I do love my seafood, so I'm definitely down.
Yeah, cool. Anyone else want to hit Vinny up with another question? I told him that we try to keep it to 45 minutes if we could, and I've been watching the clock pretty closely. But I want to make sure.
If you find yourself wandering around the trails of West Virginia, let me know.
Yeah.
Definitely. I do like West Virginia. I was there recently for ASW. Great place.
Very cool.
Yeah. I was just there last year.
We'll go do the bridge walk. It'll be fun.
What's that?
For the New River Gorge Bridge, you can go under it and walk and see the river below it.
Oh wow!
While the cars are driving over top of you.
While the Mothman gets you.
Yes.
He is our friend.
And
He will be flying back but watching.
Yeah, I'm in East Tennessee, close to Gatlinburg, so we could go to Gatlinburg.
Nashville? No.
No, Knoxville.
How far is that? 'Cause I went to Nashville recently and we loved it out there.
It's about What,
An hour and a
2.5
half.
hours from Nashville?
Oh, geez. Tennessee is huge. I forget about that.
Yeah, we're east. I'm east.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
she's on
gotcha.
the far east there. Just make sure to get moonshine if you go to East Tennessee. We were just talking about that
Yeah.
before the show.
He'll be in East Tennessee. I sadly I've been to Gatlinburg to go skiing.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll
Love
just
that.
meet up in Ohio and we can go to Kings Island.
Oh,
They're
Oh, yeah,
rides
we
and
can
roller
do that.
coasters.
Yeah, that would
Vinny,
be fun.
I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule because it
No, of
sounds like
course.
you were way booked. And I don't know how you keep up with it by yourself.
Yeah, I have one more question about that. Do you have a website of your own that you have your schedule on?
I have to make a website. It's on my social medias usually, but I'm going to make a
Okay.
website, everything on it. And funny story, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I've never once ever, as busy as I get, never wrote down a date in my
Oh my
calendar.
gosh.
It's all memorized. Don't know how I do it, but I do it.
I don't know how
Wow.
you do it.
Bless your soul.
Yeah.
Google Calendar is my friend.
I know.
That tells
Calendar,
me in advance.
that's true. But sometimes I'm like, okay, what day do I have this show? And I'll relook it. I usually have it on
Yeah.
my social medias. Everything's on social media.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Gotcha.
That's a good question.
Oh,
So
thank you.
that's your notebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
Vinny,
sure they make an app that takes all dates from your social media and can put it into a map calendar for you.
Yeah, I got
I
to
think
make
some
a website.
people would be very depressed.
hmm
Well, it's not mandatory.
Right.
Vinny, once again, thank you for taking your time out. And
Thank
when you
you.
can release the movie, just drop one of us a message and we'll plug it
Definitely.
here.
Oh,
Yes,
awesome. Definitely will.
we've had a
Appreciate that
couple
very
people-
much.
We'll do like a live stream watch party.
Ooh, nice. Hell yeah. I
Oh,
love
we
that.
could do that. Yeah.
That would be, that would be a good idea. Yeah,
Love
we
that.
just had David Bourne from Twister. He was on a couple months ago, and he's like, "I'm filming Twister right now while we're saying that." So, can you say that? And he's, everybody knows about Twister. So.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll do like a like live react.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. It's gonna be fun. I'm telling you.
Cool.
Thank you
Good.
guys. Appreciate you guys very much.
Vinny,
you.
have
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
Vinny.
night. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time and keep in touch with us.
Definitely will. Bless you
Absolutely.
guys.
Very good
Bless
to
you
meet you.
guys. You too,
All
guys.
right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
All
Vinny.
right, thank
Talk to
you.
soon. All right, bye-bye. I was thinking there for a minute I had sidetracked the whole thing when I went to comic books. So.
Oh, no.
No.
You made a lovely
It was-
conversation. It was good.
It was worth every minute of it.
Well, the thing is, he knew the comic books, so that was the coolest
Yeah,
part.
that was great.
So it's always good when the guests. I mean, yeah, everybody's going to ask them all the wrestling questions. Yeah, we're going to ask the paranormal questions, but it's always good to find out about stuff like that. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, and
I don't know how somebody keeps track of all those dates and all those different places and
I
figures
don't
out all their
either.
travel and where they're going to sleep every night and where they're going
Yeah.
to eat. It's just sounds like a lot of work.
yeah, that to me,
That's why my phone does everything. 90% of my brain is filled up with music lines and song lyrics, and the other 10% is banking knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have to like pre-cook and pre-package his meals and put them in like ice packs or whatever. Or I guess when he's on the road, maybe he just that sort of abandons his diet and does the best he can.
yeah, I don't know how you keep
Sweetest
that
little
diet on the
guy.
road.
Probably. Very nice.
That was our first of many. We're gonna have many more athletes on here, so it'll be good. Jeff's getting us some wrestlers, and I'm gonna try and get some roller girls, and we'll have a big fight one night. So
Oh, great!
I want to see one of them beat Jeff over the head with her rollerblade.
unfortunately, I don't think Jeff is conditioned enough for that, so he might require an ambulance after that. So
I mean, I think it would require something paranormal to come through a screen.
Hey, don't knock it till it happens.
The
I was gonna say-
paranormal or guys 3D.
I
Yeah.
may have an in for the Knoxville roller girls.
Sweet, bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, don't you talk about the paranormal? What, last week or the week before? As soon as one of our guests signed in, everything went out.
Oh, wow.
I lost the mic. Shay couldn't talk. It took us 20 minutes to get up and going. And that's weird stuff happened. Do you have that happen on your show, John?
So, I mean, I won't say that we've never had technical difficulties, but not like that on my end, but I've had guests where it's happened to them on their end. But a lot of times they'll tell me afterwards this happens to them all the time. But oftentimes they think that there is some dark force at work that's doing it, and all I can say is that that I can bear witness that it happened when they were working with me. I can't attest to anything prior, but if it did happen to them that often, and they've got solid internet and stuff like that, then hey, maybe there is something haunting, menacing them, someone hacking, who it's a
my
big,
haunted
wild.
Wi-Fi router.
That's right.
Dina
Ghost
sent
in the
something to pull
machine.
my hair one day, so I'm not.
Ex Machina,
Well, I'm glad that you had the wrestling knowledge down pat for us, because I was lost after about the 5th question. So
it's all right. I mean, I didn't want to monopolize the whole thing, but I figured that that's what he's most natural about talking about, and eventually you do stumble into things that are more broadband, like comics, like movies, like horror, and then it's a nice opportunity for everyone to jump in.
I still feel like if you were to just say that, I know you're a wrestler, but we're not going to talk anything about wrestling, it still would have just been just as great talking to him.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're right with him. I think for some people it would take them aback because they figured that they're on a show to promote their stuff. So I mean, you're right. So there's some people seem easy to talk to. He seems like he's easy to talk.
Yeah,
and he just seems like he likes to talk to people too. So
Yeah.
He's a New Yorker, so that's one thing.
Yeah.
New Yorkers are known for their friendliness.
Well, they're talkative.
That's where I get all mine from. Get all upstate New York.
I did want to ask him. He was talking about all the close calls in Staten Island. I didn't think Talon was big enough to build up any speed.
Oh yeah, Staten Island is not small. I mean, it's not big either, but I mean, there's a city on it. I mean, there's a lot of people that live there.
Oh yeah, I've actually never been to Staten Island. It's one of the places I'm thinking about going this summer. So
no, you're not.
Yeah, well, I want to do the whole Route 1 up the East Coast to Maine. So
I don't think you go through Staten Island to do that.
Mm-mm.
Well, no, but there's detours that I want to do. So I got plenty of.
If you want a relaxing time, probably not.
Well, yeah. Well, I've already told her our beach this year. I think it's going to be Atlantic City. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. So I haven't been there since I was a kid. So I don't know. I've got memories of it, but you know how it is when you have memories of something.
Yeah,
as a child, it's different than So I don't know.
Trav and I decided today that we're both gonna get remote jobs here in the U.S. and move to Thailand, where you can live a week on $100 US.
Yeah.
Wow. You can go a couple towns outside of Atlantic City and be in a nice little regular beach town suburb, and still, it's a 10-15 minute drive into town.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I haven't been there since I was a kid, so it would all be too fresh. When I went, it was still Trump Tower, so that was the 80s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a minute. So yeah,
now
I don't know.
Now it's called the Paranormal Tower.
I wish I'd probably stay there then. Of course, I'd probably just lose all my money if I stay there. So I don't know. I'm not much of a gambler. I'll come up and visit you first, Jeff.
Oh.
We can get some of those crab cakes. I do remember the Maryland blue crabs.
Yeah.
They are a delicacy.
Yeah, there's a method to eating them. Like, people love it. Personally, I think it's a lot of work for not that much food. I'd rather, get the lump crab already deshelled and all that. But for some people, it's an event. It's like, it takes you 3 or 4 hours to eat, and you're working the whole time. You're drinking your beer. You're taking your mallet. You're hammering things, and people do it. Some of them have methods. It's like, it's a thing. It's the whole darn thing here. I had friends that kept a kosher kitchen, but they had a crab fest every year. And so the crabs didn't go into the kitchen. It's
I remember as a kid we used to go and have crab boils over there. So we weren't too far apart. We were just over the Potomac, so we didn't need anything out of the Potomac, though.
Yeah, probably best.
Yeah.
Potomac whitefish is not what you think it is. So.
Ew.
I'll just leave that to imagination. Jeff, you've lived up there long enough. You know what that inference is to. So.
Yeah, I also know that lake trout isn't from a lake and it isn't a trout. So, you know.
No, don't let them fool you.
Yeah.
But I went down to Louisiana and I tried some crawfish down there, and that to me is too much work for too little food.
Oh, yeah.
There was a time that I loved crawfish. I don't know what it was, but I went through this phase where I loved crawfish. I just thought they're the greatest things. And then all of a sudden, one day, I guess I was like you. I'm like, what am I doing all this for?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Mud bugs are a lot of work for something. Well, our next guest, I saw him backstage earlier, and he isn't back with us yet, but hopefully he'll be here in a minute, because I'm anxious to see about his talents as a shaman. So.
Well, good. I mean, I hope he makes it, because I know that once before, I think I was on the show also as a guest, and he was having technical problems.
Yeah, I think that was the he was having some Wi-Fi problems. Yeah, but he signed in earlier. I saw him backstage, so
maybe I'm the problem.
No. Could be.
So, you're my paranormal attorney. I need you around. So, all right. Well, let me hit a button here real quick because it's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, WDJY and WRFN, thank you for tuning in to this hour of the Para OR Normal Guyz. Stand by, and we will get you some more entertainment real soon in the second hour.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I'm Miranda Maverick, and when I'm in fight camp, I never listen to the Sportcat podcast.
I figured that was appropriate. I should have asked him if he ever thought about UFC. Because a lot of those guys and gals think about crossing over between the two.
I don't know. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He didn't look like the type that was that would be the UFC type. To me, like we were talking earlier about Rey Mysterio, he looked like he would do the high flying angle thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have weight classes in UFC.
Do they? Really?
Sure.
I don't know. What the heck kind of weight class is Kane in though? Holy cow.
Kane's not a... Cain Velasquez was a super heavyweight. UFC and professional wrestling are two different things.
Oh, well, I know that. No, I was saying that's what he reminded me of, though, was the lean one that was doing all the acrobatics and stuff.
Yeah, but in mixed martial arts, there's weight classes, so he'd be facing other people who, probably within 5 pounds of him, one way or the other.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was still thinking about UFC or WWE too.
Oh yeah, there's not weight classes, but there are certain titles and certain promotions that are for people that are of a certain weight. And in some places, there's even if you're younger, there's different titles to compete for. But every promotion has their own rules, and they introduce and unify and take away titles and reintroduce them as they wish. Wrestling's the Wild West, it's
true. All right. Well, as I said, the crazy, amazing shaman is backstage, so let's bring him out. Without further ado, hello there. How are you, Mr. J-Man? Can you hear us? He's looking at us like he can't hear us.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey, can you hear us to see us? All right.
Hey, do you see me?
Yes, we see you. We sure do. Let me move that so it's not overshay there. So, it sounds like you're in a busy area.
How's it going?
I think he's got a slow connection.
Yeah, I'm in the Bronx. You want me to close the window, or can you hear me?
No, we can hear you.
No, you're fine.
That's funny. Him and Vinny were closer than any of us, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too.
About two of the five
Gets a little,
boroughs.
at night they start a lot of music. You can't hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah. So,
wait, you're not. Speak again if you don't care.
Oh, no. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about
Hey.
yourself.
Can you hear us?
Hey, guys.
Hi, can you hear us?
You'll just have to give him a minute with his delay.
Hey, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, our guest just prior to you was from Staten Island, so you two are closer than any of us all together.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikki, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nikki.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
No, something's not working.
It sounds like you're having some audio problems. Yeah, we could hear you there for a while. Now we can't hear you at all. Luckily, I can end on this out.
I'm going to take this moment of dead air to say I got to go. My back is getting all 55 on me.
Yeah, you're old. Exactly. All right, Jeff. Go take you some medicine. Get to feeling better. See you soon. Actually, we'll see you tomorrow.
I thought he wasn't going to be a part of tomorrow's. I think it's just you and I tomorrow.
We're doing the lit men on UFL first.
Oh.
Yeah, Vinny, I still can't hear you. I could when we first started. Now we can't hear you. And it is nothing on his. Yeah, your mic is on, but we're not hearing anything. Shay, are you trying to send him a
How
message?
about now?
Oh, there you go.
There you
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Oh, shoot.
And then his Wi-Fi is gone.
Oh, no.
Goodness gracious. I don't understand. He lives in the Big Apple. He should have the best Wi-Fi out of all of us.
You think?
Of course, I thought that living in Atlanta too. So what do I know?
Yeah.
Well, while he's hopefully trying to fix his stuff, you can always call us at 1-888-88-YERGZ on your phone pad. That's 1-888-88-YERGZ. That's compliments of YergsRadio.com. You could also go YERGZ. That's compliments of YergsRadio.com. You could also go. There you go. You're back.
How about it? You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Much
You hear
better.
me?
Oh,
Yes.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
There's
wait.
sound coming out of his speakers, too.
You got sound coming out of the speakers, too.
Yeah, is there a lot of feedback? I plugged the speaker in. I could lower it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Dina's not used to hearing voices in her head.
How about now?
Better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her head.
Everything's...
Yeah.
Better?
Everything's...
So tell us a little bit about. Yes.
Okay.
Do you have headphones by chance?
Do you have headphones on you?
I have Bluetooth headphones that I could, if that's better.
Yeah, you can give it a try. Yeah, you can give it a try.
Okay.
Wow, that's more than a 2-second delay.
Huh?
So that's more than a 2-second delay.
Yeah. Yes.
And there he went again.
He'll come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, what's the phone number again?
1-888-88-YERGZ. That's 1-888-88-YERGZ on your phone pad.
So it's 937.
Oh, that's way too much thought for me. Yeah, I meant to tell Nikki and Matt, please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe. A habit I haven't gotten myself into used to.
And 9.
And it's going to confuse you. There's going to be a new toll-free number soon, too. So, yeah. Yeah, Ross is growing. He's got another station that he's starting, so. Internet radio is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent him the phone number to see if that would make it easier for him.
Oh.
That's an idea. Yeah. Or he can call the studio line. I could open that up as well. With the click of a button, I have the studio line open, so I don't like to get that number out unless I have to, but every now and then I'm getting strange texts.
You are?
Emily. Yeah, Emily keeps texting me, asking me if I'm all right. I don't know who Emily is, so yes, Emily, I'm all right.
Thank you, Emily.
Who does she think she's texting, though? That's the thing.
Well, you know what's weird? I've replied back, no, this isn't Susan. Then she'll be like, oh, well, is this
okay.
Susan? No, it's not them either. Guess again.
Is it who?
Susan.
Oh.
Susan that I know of. I've had the number to the studio for quite a while. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Every now and then you just get weird texts.
Yeah.
But I can see misdialing back in the 80s, you know, but
yeah,
now, how do you mistext?
I don't know.
Yeah, that one to me, I think it's the same. Emily wants me to send her money, I bet. So.
Oh, could be.
Yeah. Hey, you never know.
You didn't even have to ask to see your boobs or anything.
Right.
Well, we haven't got to that. We're still on the first few exchanges. It's usually about the fourth time you've annoyed me that you get that.
All right, Susan.
I did that the other day. So.
Gosh.
Somebody started on Facebook. I'm like, look, let's just cut to the chase here. I'm not really your friend. I'm not really going to be your friend. So how about it? Delete. The price of fame and fortune.
Yep.
Well, I haven't got either yet. I'm still working on that. So. You think as much as I'm working in radio, I'm the busiest man in radio. It appears I am on the internet or FM radio, YouTube, something every day. So, with me even doing Flashback Fridays on the Thin Line Rock Station from 6 to 11, playing all the classics. And I have not played Barbie Girl. I do not have that. I knew you were going to ask, Shay.
Aww.
You have to disappoint me every time.
Tell ya.
Yeah, well. Hey, I got some songs that I wasn't expecting. I keep bugging him for Disco Duck. So.
We all know that you're excited by Convoy.
Rather
yes, I am.
Hear Barbie Girl than Disco Duck.
How dare you say that? Disco Duck. Well, you know that was by Rick Dees. He was a popular disc jockey before.
I know that.
Actually, he still is. But I think. And he does. Is he to the top 40? I don't know. He may be dead by now.
He used to. I don't know if he still does or not.
Yeah, that's how he got his claim to fame. He's a DJ.
Huh.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people that have come out of radio and had successful careers. So, but I don't think I'll ever be a singer. So. I can't sing. So I don't even sing in the shower.
Well.
And today, while I was doing all the radio, I've just developed a writer's blocker, I guess you'd call it. Hey, he's back. Are you there?
All right.
Yeah. You hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's loud and clear now.
Can you hear us?
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yes.
No.
Great.
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
We can edit it all out. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I know.
Cool.
His internet.
You know, it seems like every time I ask that
Going
question,
down.
he locks it.
Well, his internet keeps going out.
Well, I don't know. I can't fix that.
I know.
Yeah. All right, Shay, carry this.
Well, it's funny because I was gonna say I can tell you after the show what the 3 cards were I pulled about how the show was gonna go today.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, well.
So I pulled 3 right before we got on here, and the first one was justice. The special number is 11 on that one. So it stood for justice, karmic justice, consequences, legal disputes, law, truth, honesty, integrity, cause and effect, and life lessons. The second one was defeat. Defeat, surrender, change, walking away, self-sacrifice, self-sabotaging behavior, underhanded behavior, deception, lack of communication, aggression, bullying, and intimidations.
Wow.
And the
It's
last
all
one,
best traits.
the last one was patience. New job, self-employment, building business, trade, reputation, craftsmanship, equality, master, expertise, hard work, commitment, dedication, concentration, and success.
Well, now, I'm going to ask you, Cheyenne, because I'm not 100% convinced on this. You're pulling tarot cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have an intention, though, right? I mean, you can't pull...
So, basically, the steps are... hold on, I gotta go one page over. So, you start with, like, setting whatever particular mood you want. Make sure you feel relaxed.
Well, you seem to be relaxed.
Yes. Yeah.
So, well, yeah. Where's Warren when you need him?
Then you have to form your question, and you want it to be an open-ended question. So then you shuffle the cards, and depending on what kind you're doing is depending on how you can stack them, like how you pick your cards. This particular one said to cut the deck into 3 stacks. So I just took one off the top of the 3 stacks. I know a lot of people that will just keep shuffling them until one falls. Yeah. And then those are the ones that were meant to... then it was decide which layout works best for you, like a simple question is a simple layout, how many cards you want to do, blah, blah, blah. And then keep your focus on the broader picture, like rather than tiny details. So I feel like that was a good description for the evening.
Yeah. All right, so are you with us? The amazing J-Man, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Good.
Cool.
All right, so
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm afraid to ask the question.
I know, I was about to just go, don't you say it.
I'm just going to let him have the floor.
You talk first.
Yeah. You know what's funny is last time he told me, he said this never happened with his Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
Look what's happening again tonight. Yeah.
I know. That's crazy.
Daggone New York Wi-Fi.
Well, Shay, I wanted to ask, so are you learning this? Or is this something you already knew how to do?
I knew some about it, particularly from like what some of my coworkers have taught me. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to start reading them regularly because I have a couple of different kinds. So I looked into like the basics of what you would do for like a standard tarot card reading.
What was that?
I thought I heard him for a second.
I've got a deck of crow cards that I want to learn how to read.
The first ones I used here, these were like learning ones where they had a lot of stuff specified out for you. Yeah. But what I liked about the stuff that I found is if you have like the very traditional tarot card deck, this little bit I just called like the gist, and it specifies like where you have like the Queen of Cups, and it has however many cups or whatever. It specifies what the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles mean. Okay. And then that like the page, knight, queen, king are they are usually tied to people in your life. Yeah. They typically deal with day-to-day issues. They're and then like wands, cups, swords, and pentacles are what's called minor arcana. And they deal with life's overall journey. Yep.
So basically, if you were going to have a show and you were going to pull cards, you'd have to memorize all that stuff before. Yeah. Before having a show.
Well, like it depends on what I think. It depends on the type of reading you're doing. If you're doing something simple as just asking questions, there are a number of different things you could do. Like this last part talks about 3 different types of easy layouts, which is basically, the first one here is called daily card draw, and that was the first one that I tried, which is just basically ask a question, pick any deck, and then interpret it. Like look into what each thing means. Then you've got like the 3 card spread, which I did, that could be the past, present, and the future. So then past, present, is future is the case. Justice was the past, defeat is the present, patience is the future. And then there's a 5 card spread, which dives deeper into your current situation, tasks at hand, new challenges, overall strength, and ideal outcome for you right now.
Interesting.
So if you do it enough, that's some pretty easy stuff to kind of memorize.
Are you familiar with the I Ching?
What was it?
The I Ching. It's a type of fortune telling.
It's not. It doesn't. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
No,
I've heard of it, but I can't.
Take 3 coins and you like drop them on the ground. You drop them and you see which side they land on, and then you go through the I Ching.
What does that mean? How do you? Oh, dang it.
Well, there are thankfully so many websites and stuff out there now. Yeah.
That's true. Didn't he have to go outside last time? Go on to his roof or something?
No, I do have a funny story about. No, I have a funny story about. I'm a ham radio operator, and I used to play radio in the airplane. Oh. And there's frequencies where it's just simplex, which means it's one-way communication. There's nothing else involved. Yeah. And I would play around on it and fly over to New York. And some guy answered me, and he's like, "No, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm a security guard. I want to talk to you." And he ran to the top of the building so that he get a better signal.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy, yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. Try it again.
Floor is all yours, Amazing J-Man.
Hey, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, so I'm doing all right. Pretty good. It's a little getting hot. It's a little warm out here.
Muggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm an artist, an actor. I've been, doing acting or art my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I started. I've been into comics my whole life. My grandmother used to read comics. When she was younger. Yeah. So she read them to me. She like the first picture I have. I'm doing cosplay as Buster Brown. It was her favorite comic.
Very cool.
So yeah, she was a seamstress. She sewed the whole uniform for me and everything. So yeah, I've always been into like that. She was also sorceress. My family is really into magic.
Okay.
Dad's side, my dad's from Haiti, so they all did a lot of voodoo.
Into voodoo?
These are the things I want to dive into.
I know.
And my mother, her side over here, Apache. My great grandmother's Jewish. I know she practiced Zoroastrianism. That's how she met my great grandfather. She came over from Europe, and that's how she.
Oh crap! This is getting annoying. Is there any way?
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about there, so
He
I can't answer this question.
He said his grandmother was a sorceress, and his
heard something about voodoo.
Yeah.
And then
something about his grandfather.
Somebody was Apache and somebody was Jewish.
Yeah. And shoot fire. We've got to get a better way to communicate with him.
Yes, we do. We're going to have to figure it out.
If he comes back on here and he starts to talk, tell him to check his email that I sent him the phone number for him to call in.
Okay.
Okay. I'll let somebody else do that because I'm afraid I'll jinx it. So
I know, because I was going to.
That's why.
In case.
That's why I let you.
I know. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Hey, will you check your email real quick? I may have a better way to communicate.
Yeah.
If you can hear us, I emailed you the studio phone number. Try calling there.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but your internet keeps going out, and we can't.
Okay.
We can only. Okay.
That's why I was just leaving it. I was like, it'll get to him eventually.
Yeah.
I have the studio line up and the 1-888-88-YERGZ up, so you can call him. And we will be ready for his call. Or anybody wants to call him.
Well, not
anybody.
Yeah, I meant to tell you earlier. Thanks, Cheyenne. I'm going to have to figure out where that was in the audio and edit that out.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, yes.
Like,
yes. I was like,
all the words.
All the words.
But I got a producer now that does that for me. So
yes, you do. Don't worry about it.
That's why I wasn't too worried. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Now I do have to be careful on the Thin Line Rock Station. Whew.
I know.
So, did you ever figure out anything else happened to that cock farm?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were telling us about it on Saturday.
The cock farm? Oh, the cock farm. The roosters and stuff.
Oh, well, I didn't look it up anymore after reading the Yakima Sheriff's Department stuff. So that was my shtick. That won't air on WDJY in Well, actually, I don't know when it'll air up in Fairfax, but it won't be on WDJY for 2 weeks. We're always 2 weeks behind with them.
Okay.
So they just got 2 weeks ago. We'll play tonight. Or no, tomorrow night. The longer the show runs, it may be tomorrow night. So. This is one of those shows where it would be nice if I had. I was telling Cheyenne earlier, I've been on doing so many recordings trying to catch up from the storms.
Yeah.
Been talking so much, I'm like having a writer's block or something, you know. So
yeah.
Like, I can't. It's just not the time to do that. So.
Right.
And then I get tons of dead air on the Para OR Normal Guyz.
Oh, we're not dead air. We're talking.
Yeah.
Well, I can read you guys my next set of cards if you want.
Do it.
Go for it. At this point, I'm ready to get a shot.
So the hold on, let me mix them up because this was about me.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. And these ones are more straightforward because they flat out say what they say.
Okay.
Alright, so Dina, for you, it gave you the peacock, which also means self-love.
Oh, I love myself.
You will find great power in focusing on the positive aspects of yourself, that which makes you indefinitely unique and beautiful. These are deep wells of untapped inner power and letting go of negative self-talk.
I do that.
I'm going to be pounding my head into it.
I am finding a way to let that go.
Well, it's funny, Glenn, because yours is the tiger for patience.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I have patience or I have
no?
not?
You need it.
Oh.
You are being reminded that persistence is what is necessary to attain your goals. You need to be patient and trust that the universe will help you through your challenges. In divine timing, success is guaranteed.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that. Beth and I were talking about tarot cards earlier after dinner, and I stumbled across another show, and I've noticed that some of the people that started podcasting about the same time as me, maybe a little bit earlier, are now on here pulling these cards and swinging pendulums and telling fortunes and all this, and I'm like, that's not me. I don't ever want to do what happened to these people? They were normal. Now they are just begging for money. Oh, the pendulum says, come on, give me a break. So
don't do something that's not you.
Yeah, I know. It's just what I'm saying is, I'm
yeah,
wondering what my end game is to this, because they're getting famous by doing this shit. I will say it. If they tune me in, you know who I'm talking about. But there's more than one. But yeah. And they're getting famous and notoriety, and I got 178 subscribers. Yay me! So it was a stressful night.
I went to a different phone, so
patience, grasshopper.
Young grasshopper.
That seems like I knew it. All right, give it a try again.
Hey guys,
tell us about yourself.
Hi.
All right. Well, I'm an actor. I'm an artist. I'm a comic book maker, filmmaker. Got a degree in film. Crazy Amazing Shaman. It's more of like a personal practice. I don't really I'm not a part of any sort of like religious group. It's more like my spiritual journey. It's on my mind like most of the time.
Okay.
Just
how did you manage to get into that?
Yeah, I was born into it.
Okay.
Because my family was all my family was into my father's side was into voodoo. They're from the islands, and my mother's side is my grandmother's Apache, so they've been casting magic for a very long time. I had a lot of spells cast on me when I was a kid. I was also baptized. I was brought to because my grandmother didn't like the what my parents were doing. So I was kind of born into like this voodoo cult. This was upstate. And yeah, I remember because my grandmother used to tell me, I prayed for you. I prayed you to life. I prayed you into existence. And she brought me around, had me baptized. I baptized by the Archdiocese. I was, Christian by the Krishnas and the Buddhists and the Hindus, because my grandmother practiced Hinduism when she left the reservation. She left the reservation like in 1923. And when she came to, they moved to Manhattan.
Okay.
And when she came to the city, she got into Hinduism because she thought that was more, it's like more of a real like magic system.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. So, did you had spells put on you when you were a child by your parents as well, or was it just good omens from your grandmother?
See, this is as far as because I can remember that back, and it wasn't really spoken about too much. I had my great grandfather was a shaman, and my great grandmother. So I already had protection spells on me.
Okay.
I think my cousins used to try to cast spells on me because when I was born, it was there was always a lot of commotion around me. The first thing when I was born at Albert Einstein Medical Doctor School, which is right here in the Bronx, and they gave me a DNA test, and I had 16 different races, ethnicities, which really caught them off guard.
Yeah.
And ever since then, they were just going and going, and it's always been something.
Wow.
With my mother and father, it's just they always acted weird around me.
Huh.
So what does a shaman do per se?
Well, they're spirit. They're in between this world and the spirit world, and they sort of just kind of commune with the extra, the world that beyond our vision.
I can see where voodoo comes into that.
Yeah, I personally never I never explored that. Never got into it. My aunt used to practice little bit. She got into Hinduism also. So she was more into that. And my aunt used to read tarot all the time.
Okay.
She was a fortune teller.
So shaman, is it more of the Apache or spiritualistic of the Native American? Is that correct, or?
Yes.
More, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't positive, but.
So when you say in between worlds, can you actually see these entities?
See, it's more of a meditative state.
Okay.
You know how you can visualize things. You can visualize how you want your vacation to be. You can visualize how your best friend would respond, since you know them so well. How they would respond if you brought them a tuna fish and peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You could tell how each one of your friends, right? Everyone has a certain response to it, and that's how well you know them. That's in your mind. That's their energy. That's the karma, the imprint that they left. So there's different imprints from different dimensions. So in order to for me, it's they'll come in, what I'll see will be in my mind's eye, the theater of my mind. But it's not in most, when you're fantasizing or dreaming up something, you can control, the fantasy, you control the situation. It's not the same when in meditation or any time, you could consider that possession, or you're allowing them to come in, because you can imagine people, but they won't say what you want. They will say what they say.
Okay. So, do you work with clients or how?
No. This is my own.
Okay, just
my
your
own personal journey. Yeah.
Okay, got it. That's awesome.
Well, being able to do that must be fascinating in some ways and horrifying in others, though.
Yes. Yeah. Because most of the time when you with the communications, it's always me in these whatever, any type of message I'm trying to receive. It's always me. It's always the worst thing that's happening to me, and it's always from people in my life. But as time goes on, I find out that what the signals again, the messages I'm getting, they only can communicate to me through me. They don't know who else is in my life. And I always find out that some of the worst like meditations, some of the worst sort of like simulations that my mind's going through, it's happening near me or to someone else.
Okay. So you're very empathic. And you
That's
pick
what I
up
was just thinking.
You pick that up off of other people?
I don't know. It's so weird. It's like recently, I don't know, it must be, I think I just have a spiritual presence.
Okay.
There's people in my life, because a lot of the people that really are really like the adults in my life that really cared for me passed away early on in my life, because I don't get along with my parents at all. It was always something with them. Even today, they're quiet and they don't talk to me about things at all. Yeah, it was my youth was, this was back in I was born in 77. So like religions were kind of a fad back then. Everyone had like this religion in a fad sense that they followed.
Right.
Like recently in the news with all this stuff going on, because I actually, so you know, I'm an artist. I got a degree in music production in 07. And I've just been following the news recently with all this stuff, all like the collapse of like music industry and everything. It's just these things, it's like bringing back all these memories from my youth that I haven't thought about in years.
Oh wow!
Because they used to throw like my parents used to have like their I don't know what you call them, their get-togethers, meetings, you know, at my house.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, there'd be, I remember waking up and there'd be people sleeping all over the place, like on the floor. I'm like, what's this? Until finally, I learned fast. I learned quick. I used to, like, if the house was getting crazy, I'd call the operator. I know, hit 0, and then I'd ask for my grandmother. And I lived in a small town, it was Wappinger, so they had gotten hints. They had caught on to what was going on in my, like, those crazy parties, like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
So then eventually that's...
Go ahead.
That's when I started, like, my family, like grandparents and uncles and stuff, they left the city and moved upstate. And that's when my parents stopped doing it.
Okay. I think, what I was going to say is I think the 70s were kind of that time where the get-togethers and parties were a thing. I mean, like, that was
your little Tupperware parties.
No, not even that. It was just like people got together and drank and smoked cigarettes, whatever. You know, but a lot of, you know, they just got together and hung out and music and I'm sure if we did it here, like in the regular world, in our regular families and stuff, I could imagine what if it was like artists or
see, it wasn't artists. My father's a doctor, my mother's a nurse.
Okay.
So it makes I think it has to do with my grandparents and like about, you know, their backgrounds in like magic.
Okay, so people into magic.
Yeah, I've had a lot of magic.
Saying, yeah, that had different motives, or I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but different types of groups or whatever would be into different types of things.
Yes.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No,
no,
okay.
Yeah, you know, yeah. That's why I feel like that I've been on a mission, because you know, as a kid, I was like, what are all these people doing here? And I call my grandmother, I'd call my my grandfather, my grandparents came up from Florida to stay in the area. My cousin ended up staying at my house. My neighbors were great.
Yeah.
My neighbor, I'd run next door and get them, like, yeah, there's people in the house and this and that. There's always like, and of course I don't remember everything. Just I've been trying to, like, I'm meditating and been chanting mantras and trying to churn up every type of memory.
Yeah.
Anything from my past, because it seems like now it seems like a weird circle in my life.
Yeah, they'd stick all us kids in one room and, like, stay in here, watch TV,
Fend for
Or,
yourself.
huh?
Fend for yourself is the way
Pretty
it would
much.
be. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. But
So when you talk of magic, you're not talking like magic tricks. You're talking about a different kind of magic, aren't you?
sorcery.
Yeah, I would talk. Yeah, sorcery, like magic energy, like
Yeah.
The intention stuff, Glenn.
Basically, calling upon your universal, your part in the universe. We're all part of the universe. We are. The universe is the universe, and we all come from it. So, being that the universe is magic, if there's a magic to existence that you can call upon. Listen, I'm a part of the universe too, so I'm using that energy to cast magic.
Yeah.
Once you've like dissolved the self and realized that you can harness the energy as well of the universe, because you're made by the universe, you're a part of it. That's sort of where the belief, the intention, like where my magic philosophy comes from.
Well, I think we're all basically energy creatures of light, and we're all on a journey of some sort. And it's kind of up to us to figure out the path. So
I don't think some of us aren't creatures of light, though.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Or we'll delve into the darkness.
Well, there's darkness in everything. So,
but I think there are people that have different intentions of I don't know. I guess wish they're
people with dark designs.
Yes, dark designs.
Certainly.
Thank you. With their motivations.
Okay. Just bad people. Basically.
Certainly, with like demonic designs. And they'll always be...
Thank you.
And the thing with them is they're like we call them magic simps. Like they especially with Satanism. Because I happen to I decided, I was like, what is this? Has this been going on here in this country for this? You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow. This whole thing is like with Hollywood recently. I've gone down that rabbit hole. I know people. I graduated from the Institute of Audio Research in 2007 with a degree in music. And there was a lot of kids that were into rap that were doing internships, and I haven't heard from them. And so I was like, is this whole business like that? So my mind, because that's how well I'm in. That's how much I've been into it. Because I got a degree in music. I have a lot of music friends who are musicians.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm an actor. I go to auditions. I'm trying to, So there's a lot of. It's just been on my head a lot recently.
Yeah.
Speaking of acting, have you been in any major roles or any roles we could have seen you in?
I've done mostly theater. I do theater because these were roles that theater scripts, theater productions aren't as particular on the look. Film is particular on type. So if you're looking for if I'm looking through casting notices for film, most of the time I'll see something like Caucasian, or all right, what do you mean by that? Or certain ethnicities. I look Hispanic, but I'm not Hispanic. So when they say Hispanic, they're looking for someone who speaks Spanish.
Okay.
Which I don't. So it was always and there's none that say Native American. So
yeah.
And if there is a role, it would be that I could go for. It'd be ethnically ambiguous. So it would be you could be anything. But then at that point, it's so in theater, it's not like that. Theater goes for the stronger actor, and you act around lines that you can't change. Film, you can improvise. You can throw the script out. They buy the script, so the lines are theirs. In theater, you rent them. You pay a copyright royalty, and you get the play script, and you get a certain amount of time to do the show, usually 6 months. And they don't let anyone in your area do that show. Once your time is up, And it literally, everyone sends the scripts back to like Samuel French, and that's it. You're like, it's available to whomever wants to put on a production. This is about Broadway, like Broadway copyright show, like Hamilton or Lion King. This is how they would operate.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's big. That's the biggest thing about theater. You can't change the lines at all. The playwright is like the god for theater. Whoever wrote the play, and you can't change their words at all. You have to act around their words.
Wow, that's very cool.
But you can do whatever you want. So they gave you, like, I did a production of King Lear, which is Shakespeare.
Right.
But we set it in 1920s Chicago. So that's where the creativity comes in. Because you can't change the words, but you can do anything else. You can like, you know, you do Hamlet in outer space. You could do, you know, you can do Lion King. You know, you can change, like, the characters and stuff, but the words are the only things you can't mess with. And any, like, the notes that the playwright wrote in parentheses, you have to follow those too. It's actually like a copyright infringement if you try changing lines and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah, well,
so it makes for stronger actors.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
and there's, since you have to go on stage, a lot of people won't audition for theater. Like, it's not as, you know, as popular as participating as film. Everyone, you know, when you hear like casting or even for like an extra part or anything like that, you'll have people down the street.
Yeah.
A lot of them may have never acted before. And in theater, it's certainly much different. In theater, sometimes you have to ask other people on other shows you're doing.
Yeah.
Hey, we need someone to sit in for us. You know, we need someone to sit in because someone else had to step out. So you get a lot of that in theater. Like, you'll start doing one show. From the one show, you'll end up doing another show simultaneously. A lot of times I'm doing 3 shows at the same time.
Wow.
So when I'm usually done, that's when I take a break. People are like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, the last show I did was in November.
Oh, goodness.
Wow. I can see where that would be tough. Yeah, I know here in Atlanta, where I'm at, they do casting calls almost every day for something. And I get notices before, obviously, firefighter, paramedic, which is what I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, people are lined up to do it. And the few times I've done it, I just kind of fell into it. It's not something I ever wanted to do. So, but yeah, you're right. In Atlanta's a big area for this too. So they do a lot of film production here. But theater. So what plays have you been in?
I've done a lot of Shakespeare. I've done, I don't know if you'd be familiar, like I've done the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which it sounds like a small show, but it was actually a Broadway show. It was a musical. Most of the stuff I've done has been sketch comedy. So it'll be like at a black box theater. It'll be like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Which is more towards the comedy theater side. But I studied I studied Shakespeare and stuff when I was in school.
Now,
I've done Alice in Wonderland. I did. I'm trying to think of some of the other shows. A lot of those theater shows you might not be familiar with. So
the black box comedies, are they more improv or
we have sketch writers for those shows. We workshop sketches for 8 weeks.
Okay.
And then we have like a week. Whoever workshopped with whoever the writers, they're pretty loose with you don't even audition for that. It was like, all right, who's been here writing? All right, you will cast you with this guy, this guy, this guy. You know what I mean? They'll just cast people in the parts and go up. And we have a week. You have a week to memorize everything, get the lines down, and then the show starts. We run the show for like a month.
I'd be so bad at that.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I don't know, maybe.
It gets easier.
Comic creator, is that correct?
Yeah.
So
I got into this. Sorry, excuse me.
I was just gonna say, what have you created? What's your?
So my first comic, which is my main title that I'm like the mascot, so to speak, of my comic company is The Crazy Amazing Scooter Kid. Now, she is a teen detective. She's also a comic fan. She's a teenage detective in New York City who, similar, I don't know if you guys have ever read the old Dick Tracy comics or the Encyclopedia Brown books.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's like energetic literature. Yeah, it's like open-ended. Or like read a mysteries, 1-minute mysteries. You read the case, and then at the end they ask you, all right, who do you think did it? This was the clues, or how did the main character figure this out? And then you go to the back of the book and get an answer. Yeah. So I'm trying to play off that. I always loved those books. I always loved Encyclopedia Brown. It was my detective stories are my favorite. Yeah. So that's basically, but I'm trying to give her like a regular story too. So the first, like her origin story, which is a 12-act origin story, is about how she becomes like well-known, how she becomes Scooter Kid. Mm-hmm. So in each issue, there's a shell story. The main story is she wants to be on YouTube. She wants to be a true crime drama podcaster. Mm-hmm. She watches this podcast. She's in it. She's really into it. So they're having a submission on one of these shows for a new host. Yeah. She wants to do it. She wants to be in it, but she's real shy. You know, that's a part of her weakness, like her inner phobias. She was wrong about like something in the past. Yeah. And she accused someone who was innocent, and so she's really now it, like as she got older, it stuck with her. So she's really she's into mysteries. She's into like crime solving, but it's more of as a hobby. She doesn't she's not like an active detective. Right. So her friend, she's just recently moved to New York. She has a friend, and she meets her neighbor friend. He's a athlete. He's a football player at the high school they go to, and he wants her to help. He knows she's smart because she's met her and she can tell she's smart. He wants to buy like an autographed copy of like a Sports Illustrated mag, but he wants her to come and check it out. You know, that's something that you would hire a detective to do, because you got to think, why would you hire a detective? And I looked into that. I was like, what are some of the things you'd hire a detective for? And you'd be surprised. Well, you can hire a detective for just about anything. Yeah. If you think like, if you want information, just like basic information on something, they can do it. Like in this case, he wants to buy an autograph, but he's not sure whether it's real or not. So he asked her to come and check it out with him. Okay. And she does, and she's able to like spot all the forgeries. After she she catches this kid, she's like, this is crap. Yeah. He invites her to come to the school. So they had a prank played on him at the school. They have they have the trophy cases. It's one of those, someone snuck into the school, stole the trophies and banners and, little, prank things. Yeah. So she's like, all right, sure. Yeah. I need a submission for the show. So I'll look into it. So that's the setup. As she starts investigating, like the trophy, she's talking to all the students and this and that. One of the cheerleaders, they're having a bake sale at the school. It's the beginning, like right at the beginning of school year. Like if you're in your extracurricular activity, you're like kind of like in school all the time. Like you'll show up sporadically during the summer, and you're always there. It's like 2 weeks before school starts. Yeah. So that's just basic. They're raising money. There's other student clubs there. Someone uses fake money. The cheerleader who's running the bake sale interrupt Scooter Kid's investigation as he's talking to the school's coach. The coach is like, oh God, all right, we have to stop this. I'm gonna have to call the police. He goes through that. Scooter Kid's about to leave and say, okay. Then the cheerleader, the girl says, wait a minute, aren't you a detective? Listen, we need you to find out who did this. And basically that's how it goes. So she'll break off. She'll start investigating. She investigates who used the counterfeit money. I lay out all the evidence, and at the end there's 3 suspects, and you as the reader, you get to try to figure out who did it, and in the next issue, reveal. Oh, that's cool. Who did it, and then the story continues. So that's basically how I'm trying to keep it. Yeah, like there's going to be a main story of her life, and also now someone nowhere. Hey, we need you. Someone stole my cell phone, or hey, that kind of stuff. That's good. Keep it hooked. It's about the next issue. I like that.
Thank you. Hook this next week. Now, do you do the art in it as well?
Excuse me?
Do you do the art in it as well? The drawing?
Yeah. Oh,
so you're both the creative artist and author.
Right. Yeah, I write and draw. That's after years and years of like working with other artists and doing things, like especially with like acting, you need so many people. That's why I was writing a lot of my comic scripts were short films that I was writing in school. And it just I got to a point where it's like there's too many people who aren't serious. They just want to be famous, or they just want to do it, or they just want to kind of like hang out and try to pick things up, but they don't really know what they're doing. Just a lot of that stuff. And it's finding people that are serious is far and few, especially if you're asking people to work for free. That's why I don't like doing that. That's why I like to have money. Like even if it's just like $50 or something, it's just you have to, it's always better to pay than try to get it for free. I had friends that refused. They was like, no, I'm not paying student actors. I'm not, I could get them for free and this and that. And I had to explain to them, don't say that to any actor. They're going to they'll purposely mess up your film. They'll purposely act bag. Yeah, I had that happen to me in one of my film class upstate that I took.
Really?
Like no one really knew how to direct or film or act, and nothing. A lot of student films always look bad. All the student films, they always look bad. So the film teacher for that class he didn't know anything about acting or anything. He was a film teacher. He was a documentary teacher. So we all, we got to vote on who the director was. We got to vote on who it was a mess. It was just a mess.
Oh, that sounds a mess.
I've worked on professional independent films.
Okay.
Before. I doing production. One of them back in 2011, one of my childhood friends had put up the money because he was a filmmaker too, but he had money on him. He had plenty of money. So he went and we shot a 20-minute short film called Brink. Was it Brink? No. Yeah, Brink. And then it wasn't that film. It was pretty successful. So we did another one because it got into a lot of film festivals. It got into Tribeca, got into LA film. It got into a lot of festivals. So it was surprising. And then he filmed another one called Curfew. That went on to win the short film Oscars. I think it was 2011. So I do have that to my credit. I did work on a short film that won an Oscar back in 2011.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Don't sell yourself short. That is something.
Yeah.
I just keep moving. A lot of times I don't fill out resumes. As you can see, I work by myself. I do when I realized that, it was during the pandemic that I realized I liked comics enough on I could take all my short films and draw them instead. I'd rather do this because I did learn animation in film school. Okay. So it was in the back of my mind, but I wanted to, I knew that it was going to be a lot of work. I knew it was going to be a lot of time. But after having done, theater and worked on some short films, worked on, with other people, I decided that I'd be better off on my own.
Yeah.
Because I could just get more done. I can, at the house. I want to tell stories. I don't care about acting as much. I don't care about being famous. I love coming up with crazy stories.
Yeah.
Just seeing. I love competing against the old storytellers. I loved Rod Serling. I loved the Twilight Zone. I love Tales from the Crypt. All those great stories. So he's I want to evolve. I'd love to evolve that. It's called we call those future shocks. So you have the horror shock, which is Tales from the Crypt. You'd have the future shocks, which were Twilight Zone. I'd love to bring those up to date, because
yes, I see that.
Evolve the genre.
Yeah, that's quite the rage nowadays. Yeah, that's quite the rage nowadays, is what I was saying. So, and I've
gotten older. I was born in 1970. I'm 46, so at this point, I've been going to school. I've been practicing. I never stopped. Never stopped.
No, don't. I'm 55 and I'm still learning something. So, learn something new every day. The day you stop learning is the day you die. So,
yeah.
Well, I know we've had some problems getting you in here and getting you on, and we're running close to time. I'm willing to stay just a little bit longer since we got a little bit a better signal. If anybody has any specific questions,
sure.
I'd still like to circle back to the shamanism a little bit. And do you put yourself into the meditative trance, or is it a natural thing? In other words, you just are in it. You're like suddenly in it.
It's when you get in a trance like that, where you're actually communing, you have to stay up for a few days.
Okay.
Like so sometimes I'll stay up for like, just not go to sleep that night, just keep working, keep drawing, keep doing my thing. And after a while, once I'm starting to feel a little tired, that's when the visions will kick in.
Okay.
That's why it makes it a little dangerous. Your mind has to be weakened because your minds are too strong and too locked into reality to like even be open-minded enough for that. Once you get tired, once you get real tired, you get a little silly and stuff like that. And if you practice meditating, if you think about these things, if you think about other beings and what you'd say or what life might be like elsewhere, compared to like trying to find, well, where we live now, if this reality, this dimension that we live in, the Earth, and if a little bit of every other reality or every plane of existence is in every place, like there's a little representation of Earth, say in heaven, there's a little representation of Earth in hell. I'm trying to figure out what would heaven, what's heaven like, what's hell like, what's it like to be like a ghost.
That's good.
And once I stay up long enough and when I'm thinking like that, once your mind thinks like that, that's when you can start what would it be like if I was a ghost? What would that be like? What if I like, what if I was an angel? What if reality is really like this? I try to like ponder those thoughts. What would it be like to be a god? You could you are your environment. You are heaven. You're everything. You're like multi-dimensional. You're more than 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional. You're just
that's it. So when you're in that state, I know I've gotten so sleepy that I like see things, not intentionally, but like being in that sleep awake state that you have, that you see things like out of the corners of your eyes and stuff. Do you get visions, or do you what happens?
I have a strong sense. I'm in the Bronx right now.
Yeah.
So I really think I'm seeing a lot of ghosts that have been in whatever happened here throughout the years.
Right.
Because I do kind of see them out of corner. It's like idols. You know how you can see something that looks like something. Like in other religions, they'll have idols.
Yeah.
To help you imagine you're really talking to your God. So you have that idol to look at. So I've noticed because I'm an artist, my eyes can make shapes out of like a lot of stuff. So I'll see. I don't know if I'm getting like hints or messages, but it'll look like there's someone sitting in the corner of my apartment. I'll look over and there's nothing there. And I'm like, why did I see that? And I'll notice that it's because there's like a coat hanging down this way. There's a hat and the blanket's laying in such a way. It kind of sort of could look like a person. Maybe they're using that because they know my mind sees it like that. You know how you see like you can kind of almost see the smiley face, like the 2 eyes and the smile in a lot of things, or you can see shapes.
Or
that's yeah. That's when that's like if I'm looking at the peripherals, I'll see like it'll look like I'm like a real person.
Yeah.
And they're looking at me.
Wow. Have you ever seen any creatures like I'm Bigfoot, that obviously by the thing up there. Have you ever seen any creatures like that?
No. Nope.
Okay.
I've actually been, I haven't seen anything supernatural. I haven't, something that'd make me question reality really. And I think maybe the universe might be helping and protecting me because it just doesn't want, once the veil is lifted, the veil is lifted.
Right.
Once you're awakened, you're awakened. So I haven't really seen anything super. This stuff recently with what's going on in the news. This is the craziest thing I think I feel ever. That's like what?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means I'm corny or if I'm kind of geeky. I've been, I don't. Trying to think if I've had any supernatural. I've had like animals love me. Like my first dog used to circle me. She used to walk in circles around me all the time. My friend's cat. The day before my friend's cat died, he passed away. My friend loves cats. I was crashing at his place. I was like laying down, I was just watching TV on the couch. His cat, it was weird, came up and jumped on me, started purring, and it hugged me. It stretched his arms out like this and just hugged me. It was like laid on top of me. And my friend was like, "Oh, hold on, whoa, that's weird. Just he's been doing some weird stuff." He's like, he was like, "Wow, that's
strange."
Yeah, no, it's like no. He was like, "There's some unusual." We're not in a bad way. And then the cat passed away the next day.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's definitely not very cat-like.
Yeah.
I know, like I was doing some research. I was doing some thoughts on like when you're in a room, you feel like you're getting someone's watching you.
Yeah.
Or you think you see something out of the corner of your eye. I'm under the belief that we all have spirits that follow us. Spirits will follow. You got a guardian ghost. It could be a family member. It could be maybe a friend that you helped out in the past, and their grandmother thought that was the greatest thing. You helped my grandkid. I'll help you. I'll follow you. You know, that kind of, because ghosts, they can follow whoever they want. You know, they can. The thing is that you guys, we can't really look at each other face to face. Both a human and a ghost would both die. I think a ghost would die if it's realized that it's so an actual human, and we would die if we saw a ghost. Like just like a die of shock. Like
I think maybe some people, like you said, like once the veil is open, it's opened. Like I feel like I have that protection too, because I've never seen anything really, but I can hear and I can smell. I can hear them and I can smell them, but I've never seen anything that I know of, you know. But
right, but you feel it, right? So
yeah,
I believe that too.
Yes.
I believe in reincarnation, so I definitely have that. Like I really believe with that, and when especially like towards the Buddhist side, right?
Yeah,
you can die, and you've lived a correct life. If you have generated, you've done a lot of good, and you have generated karma. I do believe you can reincarnate as a god in heaven. Or
well, I don't believe that, but
but I thought about that.
I mean, that's fine. I don't care if you believe.
If you're a polytheist, I'm a polytheist, so I believe that there has to be some way, like it's when you really wrap your mind around it, like it makes sense. I'm also a deist. Like religion should naturally come to you. It should make natural sense. If you have to read about it in a book written by another person, does God need another person to tell you about him? That's the one thing about organized religion.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that always catches me. It's like, so who told him, and why does he have to tell me? How come God can't tell me? That's why I feel whatever messages I receive and whatever beliefs I find out about life, I feel that is coming from a higher power.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That is coming from someone like a guardian, someone who's trying to help. Because you shouldn't have to. If I never met the person who wrote that belief, that Bible or the religion, who was telling everyone, does that mean I never
get into heaven?
Do I like that like how does that?
Yeah, and that's something
like,
that's hard for Christians to explain. I mean, that's one thing that I mean, I don't know.
See, that's the thing. Jesus had that innate egotism. He was known he was known for his spiritual intelligence.
Yes.
And ability to talk, with the teachers. But that was innate. And when you listen to what he speaks about, it's like, okay, he's speaking very wholesome, very spiritually.
Yes.
You can't, it's very like help others. Like he was arguing because it was always about money. So the problems that I think because I'm a Catholic. I went to Catholic school for years. I was an altar boy. So I served mass with one of the greatest people in my Father O'Connor. Like I heard like a lot of bad stories about with
yes,
altar boys with their priests.
Yeah.
Our experience was totally different.
Yeah.
Because he actually had a kid. That was the thing with him. He was an Irishman.
Yeah.
And we're in a small town upstate.
Yeah.
And he had gotten one of the parishioners pregnant. And he only picked like the weird kids to be altar boys because basically what we did, we kind of covered for him because he would actually take care of his other family. He rented an apartment. And so like the mother and the child, they were across the river, the Hudson River.
Yeah.
And she worked, and he'd go and be a dad in the morning, and then he'd have to run back to the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'd run back and forth until finally. This is a crazy story. It's a long story. The nuns at my school at the time were taking a vow of silence. It was their way of protesting the tuition hikes that they kept raising at the archdiocese kept raising. They'd raise tuition in the middle of a semester. They'd raise it like right in the middle. Yeah, in the class. They wouldn't even wait till the end of the year. And the nuns were like, how are we charging people? They should be coming here for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nuns were the teachers.
Yeah.
So they typically taught. So they took a vow of silence so they couldn't teach. So the archdiocese, this is the problem with Catholicism. They'll screw people over. If you mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. They did that to my mother and my uncle when my parents were growing up. My mother and my uncle were growing up. My grandmother used to sew, like she was seamstress, and she used to sew like gowns and stuff for the church. And I forgot what happened. She stopped doing it because they weren't buying, like they didn't get her the materials to do it. So in retaliation, they failed my mother, who was a straight A student, and passed my uncle, who was a straight like F student.
Oh my gosh.
But they do things like that. So it's like, are you serious? And in this case, when the nuns took a vow of silence, they went and hired other denominations like Protestant, born again. They hired other like denominations of Christianity to work at the school, which got Father O'Connor just infuriated. He was absolutely like, how are you having? It was funny back then. They like, we didn't see them. We saw them as cultists.
Oh, okay.
We Catholics see every other Christian denomination as cultists. It's like, you don't have an ordination process. You just make up whatever you want. You're just saying whatever you think, versus the rich history and tradition of the Catholic Church.
I could see where I guess that would, we could say the same thing about Catholics, though. I mean, they do follow a specific thing and don't have the amount of freedom that other religions have. But I mean, with
the priest, that was a part of it. That was a part of like the whole. Like, I don't agree with that at all. It's like, I understand the concept.
Yes,
I understand the concept, but that's most holy people are celibate anyway. They just usually are,
maybe
true spiritual, truly people. They might not be celibate their whole lives, but when you are in when you're uplifting, when you are in an enlightened sort of when you are in a loving state, are you really trying to sleep around? Like, you have that sort of your love is being received.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any thoughts on extraterrestrials, or what we are calling people from outer space? Or
yeah, I do. I think like some of my personal beliefs are you'll only find like primates. You'll only find like human-like people like us throughout the universe. You won't find any other type of you won't see like aliens or reptilians or dinosaurs or any other evolved species. I feel that we are the top anywhere. Like if there's life on that planet, they have to be some type of human or some type of person.
Human or humanoid?
Yeah, because just nature is simple and it's the path of least resistance, like electricity. If this form is the easiest for the universe or for life to create, then that would be it. It would be uniform.
I don't know that our bodies are the easiest, though. I mean, there's a lot of complications that our bodies can have that if there were alien creatures, they might be actually more advanced, or their body systems might be more advanced than ours.
If they've been around for a long time,
Yeah,
you've had because I've been actually I took a DNA test recently because I wanted to find out about paternity or not. And when I was reading the research, because Ancestry.com, it's just much different. Now here I am, an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded because here I am, I took my DNA test, and I'm reminded about all these different, what everyone was like, oh wow, look at all this. The most percentage I am is 16%. Some people say I'm 1/16
right,
this.
Right.
1/16 is the highest percentage I am of any race, and that's British.
Okay. 1/16.
And everything else is like 8%, not 10%, 7%.
Okay.
A lot of 1%.
Yeah. What was your 1/16 was your highest percentage of something? Or
yeah, 16%. 1/16. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was British?
Yeah. And then the rest of me was 8-9%. I don't even remember everything. That's the one thing I remember because my grandmother was surprised when she saw that because that's on my father's side, but they don't look British at all. They were from the islands.
Yeah.
And they're not, so it's the way things. So my mother and father were octogenarians, that we call them. The octogenarian. There's actually a play about that. I'm an octogenarian, about a girl who's 8 different races or 8 different ethnicities.
Oh,
this was a big thing. So both of my parents which surprised everyone. They didn't know either. No one knew.
Huh.
So it's just. So I've been doing my research through the Ancestry.com. I've been doing my research through just about DNA, because it's always a fascinating thing. And our bodies don't know anything about the universe we live in.
True.
It's just making guesses all the time based on the information that your mother's body receives from the father's, semen. It has has genetic information, and that's where the womb learns about the outside world.
Well, you get half of your DNA from your father, half from your mother.
Yeah, and it's not I have a brother. I have 3 half brothers through my dad and 1 full brother.
Uh-huh.
And even my full brother, our breakdown, our makeup isn't the same because we're both not exactly the same thing. So the mother's womb, once she has the information, can take other DNA and change it.
So
what's the information?
That's actually been scientific proven. Anytime that a woman has had sex with a male, she carries some of his DNA.
Oh no.
No, that's scientific. You can look that up.
I don't believe that.
Your female body is quite amazing. It stores that information. Well, it's science. I mean, it's they come out with it. And the thing is with DNA now, they can tell so much.
It may store the information, but that doesn't mean it keeps it permanently.
Right.
I mean,
no, your DNA is your DNA, and you're not going to store somebody else's DNA in your body.
Oh yeah, no, it's but when it's husband and wife, or when it's a spousal, the mother's womb gets to choose. She's going to take the easiest to read information and discard the rest. So that's when the mother's womb learns about the outside world and how to prepare the kid, because it's just fascinating. We're evolving any way we can, because our inside of our bodies don't know what's going on in the outside. And just like our outside of our bodies, our eyes and our mouth can't inform the inside of our body what's going on in the world. We could be anywhere. We could be on any planet. We could be anywhere as far as our genetics are concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just some logic. I mean, all right. Well, I don't want to keep you here all night. We are running over.
Yeah, so I didn't want to ramble on too long about that.
No, that's cool.
Actually, I'd like to get you back now that we figure out how to get a good connection.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. I had a great time. This was fun.
Yeah, this is fun. Good conversation.
Yeah, well, maybe we can do a recorded episode and work that out. We'll try and figure that out because so many questions. The shamanism to me is fascinating. So,
well, okay, yeah.
And of course, I'm also a comic book geek, so there is that. Well, if anybody wanted to find you and get some of your stuff, where can they find it?
I am at. See, if it's my YouTube page is. I don't know if it says The Crazy Amazing J-Man or I3 Productions. It should say The Crazy Amazing J-Man. Right? I don't even know my own stuff. I have The Crazy Amazing Scooter Kid, which is on Facebook. You can look that up. I don't know. I can send that information in the description. I have a Substack called The Crazy Amazing J-Man, which I write articles about comic books and things that are on my mind. My YouTube channel, which is on here, has a lot of my acting and a lot of the videography I did because I had a lot of friends who were musicians. So I've recorded. I did a lot of live recordings. So if you're into like blues, rock, or anything like that, reggae, you can check that out. Yeah, right now that's about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, send it over. We'll add it into the show description when I upload it to everywhere else. So, and remember to tell all your friends to come over here to the Sportcat shows or the Para OR Normal Guyz. Like, follow, share.
I'll leave you guys on. Like when I'm working on my comic, and I know if I see your shows on, I'll put it on to have an extra view and stuff.
Great!
Because I know about the algorithms.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, this algorithm. You can't
I'll sign up for your YouTube channel, especially your Sportcat channel.
You're losing.
I'll sign up for your Sportcat channel.
No, it's getting late for us. But all right, drop that to us in an email. I'll get it in the show description.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm gonna upload this tonight, probably. But and then we will try and set up a time to record an episode. Now that we figured out how to get a good signal. So yeah.
So do you go by J-Man or what do you go by?
Most people just call me Jay. I do that. That's just, it's just like a silly nickname I have because my friends have known I've always been into like comics, and I do I got a weirdness. Like I am kind of like that Boy Scout thing. I will help people out that need it, even though when most people can help, they just don't want to be bothered. Like I am the guy that will help you move out. Like if you need help moving your apartment, or you need help painting, or if you need just general problems like that. And so it's kind of like I love comics, and just like, hey, I'm there when you need me.
Okay, cool. Good man. All right, thank you, Jay.
Shade?
Appreciate
Shade,
it.
do you have any more questions?
Yes.
No, I'm good at the moment. I'll probably have some again, like Glenn, have some more of the shaman questions for later on.
Yeah. Okay. I should have more. I'll be more prepared to speak on that. Actually, I just see right here. It's one of my inventions, one of my spell casting devices. I can get into that.
All right. My wife has me playing with rocks, so I don't know. So. I don't know if there's anything to that. She's like, just pick one up during the show. I'm like, yeah, it's a fidget for me to keep me from being nervous and saying something stupid. So,
well,
I don't know. I don't know if I believe in the crystal stuff. I don't know if I believe in anything, to be honest with you, but that's another story. So
there's a way to use these. You're supposed to warm them up. They're supposed to.
You got to charge them.
Like you can use like incense, and the smoke will warm up the gemstones. And that I on the right side, like in my practice, the right side of our bodies, like our fingers right here, this is my wand. This is all the energy I put out, and I'll leave. If I leave any gemstones, I'm trying to add that quality or that benefit to my actions. And the left side is where it receives, so it's like the antenna. And if I put gemstones on that side, it's like, this is the luck I need, or this is the benefit I just need to happen for me that I can't actively go and seek out.
I always wear my my bracelets and my amethyst on my right hand, and my coworker is always like, "No, you need to put it on the left hand." And I was like, "No, because if I'm putting more of it out, then people are less likely to come back and be grumpy all the time."
Yeah. So if you want to press the spiritual emphasis for spiritual connection and bringing out your own sort of guide. Yeah, no, right. It will be you want to bring that to somebody else, and on your left, that means you want to come into your life, or you want to have it internally, like inside in your thoughts or on your mind, or you're hoping maybe someone else can do that for you, maybe the universe. Yeah.
Okay.
So things like that. There are practices. There are like sort of beliefs. I also believe in like manifestations. Like thinking things into.
Yeah.
Willing things into existence.
Yep.
So that helps if you have a set ritual that you use gemstones, or that you use things with, so you can help with the manifestation.
Okay. Cool.
I was going to say I may have a million more questions for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk more about the stones next time. That'd be cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jay. Keep in touch with us,
hey guys.
And we will catch up with you soon. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank you. Right. Thanks. Yeah, this was fun. Thanks a lot so much. Take care.
Bye-bye, you too.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
I am glad that we finally got a signal cleared
Me
up.
Me too.
I have so many questions for him. So.
Yeah.
All right, Shay, have you got anything coming up soon? I know you were working on some shows.
Yeah, I'll be here on Saturday, and you can catch me again on Sunday talking about DILFs on Bracket Bastards.
No.
I'm almost afraid to ask. I know I'm not going to ask because I'll have to push that button. So, all right, Dina, you got anything coming up, or are you just besides
Saturday?
Just Saturday. Okay.
Yep.
Y'all get to carry me on Saturday because I'm writer's block. My energy is gone. I think the electrical storm wiped me out.
I've got some games for us to play.
Cool.
Okay, sounds good. Well, tomorrow night you can catch us on this channel. We have the Lipmen on UFL. We are doing Monday's show late because, well, the lightning storm took me out for a couple of days. So we're doing that. And then we're going to be recording a special episode right after that. So we will put that out later. And I already have an episode in the bank that I'm going to get published soon. So Saturday is Misfits. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. Friday, the Green Guardian Gang.
Oh, yeah.
We have a young lady that has written a book about when to call 911. Dina, you might want to drop in on that show, being a 911 operator.
Yeah.
You might want to. So she's Lester the Lion is the name of the book. And she's going to come in and talk to us about educating. She's actually a special ed teacher. And she wrote the book. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then, like we said, Saturday is the Misfits. And then I got all kinds of shenanigans. You can find me. If you can't find me on an FM dial somewhere across the country or on a cable channel, YouTube, you can certainly catch me on the Thin Line Rock Station. Tuesdays and Thursdays playing rock. Friday is the Flashback Friday, where I think I'm draining all of my energy and learning all this about the old songs, including Disco Ducks. I'm still going to get that song. So,
including what?
Disco Duck.
Disco Duck.
I know what you said.
Disco Duck. There should be a song playing. There it is. Yeah. It's been a long. I've been recording since for a little over 12 hours. So my mind needs a Slurpee. My mind is a Slurpee.
You didn't even get to play any of your sounds.
Yeah. Mine is a crispy Coca-Cola. If you don't know what that is, go TikTok it. It's not worth the wasting of your life. Crispy Coke.
It doesn't sound that bad, really.
How do you get a crispy Coke?
Barely let it start freezing in the freezer, and then you can crush it up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We called them Slurpees back in our day, but what do we know?
Yeah,
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. We will talk to you soon.
Bye.